hit the record button for myself and get that screen share. Can't minimize.
You know, I say that lovingly though, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need to find my own screen. There it is. Share, present. I never present. I just, now I need to share the screen. Not making that mistake that I watch many other people make. Hurrah! So clever hack, have two computers so that you can glance over at the other computer and see what everyone else sees, which will avoid the I can't see your screen phenomenon. Okay, so I thought it might be helpful because one thing I've realized is that over the last 3 years, I have trial and errored a bunch of things in my business that have helped me to figure out, basic stuff that works. And I have not built a multi-million-dollar company, but I have built something quite functional. And so one of the things I've learned, you may look at and say, this is really helpful. So I'm just going to share a bunch of stuff. Yes, Marcelo said use the phone. So any second device that gives you a second look at Zoom can be helpful as a monitor. So I'm going to share a bunch of the technologies and tools and things that I have found, which you might find helpful. And full disclosure, most of these links, and you'll figure this out if you've ever seen an affiliate link, most of these are affiliate links. So I am not completely altruistic. I'm only mostly altruistic. But given it's a free event that you didn't pay to get into and I gave away the VIP pass, I think I'm pretty well morally covered by giving an affiliate link that doesn't cost you any extra. So, so the technology that drives the empire. First, we're going to start with is Calendly. Calendly is very common. Calendly is almost as common as Zoom at this point. So I don't actually have an affiliate link for it even, but so I am assuming most of you probably have some kind of calendar software. If you're using Calendly, use the questions. So if you sign up for a conversation with me on Calendly and any of them, and I have 20 something different links I might send out, that there will be questions, and the questions are super useful to you because the great thing the questions do is when you come into the meeting. So I'll often, at one point I was doing something like 15 or 20 one-to-ones a week, and now I do somewhat less because I have other stuff in my calendar. And the questions are super valuable because you meet someone on an event for 15 minutes in a breakout room and you say, we should talk. And then 3.5 weeks later, they come up on your calendar. The way you avoid the, so what are we talking about? If you do a one-to-one with me, you'll ask questions like, how did we meet? And describe what you do in 3 sentences or less. And who's your ideal introduction? And what's a frustration you're working on? So in other words, I get to sound like I did research. I didn't. I just read the Calendly questions, but it lets us come in to a productive conversation and not spend 10 of the 30 minutes being like, so what are we doing? Which also I like to send people my Calendly link, because most people's link when they send it to me just has the like what would be helpful for our meeting, which is kind of generic. So next one I was going to mention, EventRaptor. So EventRaptor is basically everything that you've seen that isn't Zoom and email. I'll put the links in the chat as we go. Everything you've seen for this event that isn't links or email or Google Drive if you're a speaker is EventRaptor. So the speaker application is EventRaptor. The registration page is EventRaptor. The dashboard is EventRaptor. When I send out that VIP link, it's EventRaptor. And so all I had to do was put in the description for the event for the speakers and all the text in there. I had to put in the text for the registration page, and I had to set the dates and create the graphics and that kind of stuff. It does everything else. So it generates the registration page. It generates the application page. And what with the applications with a couple of buttons, all those little headshots you see on the registration page, automatic. It's amazing. And yes, Jen and Steve, the EventRaptor creators, and Jake, don't forget their son. Jen is the talker. Steve and Jake are the programmers. So that's why you probably don't see Jake, because he doesn't get out much. But they are amazing, awesome people. And if you have the chance to meet them, you totally should. Yeah, actually, I think Jake was at SAL where I met you, Laura. But so were 220 other people. So it's okay if you didn't meet them. But yes, the people who run EventRaptor are awesome, amazing people. And EventRaptor now with the $99 a month membership includes a Go High Level instance. So if you don't have a CRM system, Go High Level is in the same family as Kartra and Kajabi and the other ones, Keep, a couple others. So if you need a more advanced CRM system, you get that with EventRaptor, no extra cost, which is $99 a month, which is less than what Kartra costs. Although you do have to pay per email. It's like $99 per 70,000 emails or something like that. You buy micro credits, so it ends up still being probably less, unless you email like I do, because I email daily. So I send out like 70,000 emails a month, and it would cost more. But for normal people, it costs less than that. All right, moving on. My email comes out of Moosend. I like Moosend because it's fairly simple. Moosend is in the category with MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, Emma, those kinds of the lower end mail systems. It starts at, I believe, $7 a month for a smaller list, and the bigger your list get, your monthly pricing is based on your list size, not your activity. So for someone who does a daily email, it's great because I can send out 75,000 emails a month, and it costs the same as if I sent out less. So, and it does automations, and it will integrate to ThriveCart and some other things like that. Next, ThriveCart. Speaking of ThriveCart, this is not the best visual of ThriveCart, but this is a screenshot from ThriveCart. What ThriveCart does is it manages affiliates. That's the main thing that it does that is valuable, is quick and easy for affiliates. So Go High Level will manage affiliates, Kartra, all kinds of things to manage affiliates, but ThriveCart is super simple to manage affiliates. You set up a sales page, and then Moosend does have I think it's a 14-day free trial, so you can play with it. And even if not, $7 a month. So with ThriveCart, you set up your sales page, you click yes, let affiliates do this. It'll generate a link that you can share with people, and then they can become an affiliate, and it's super simple. It also does have an instant payout feature. So you can set it out so it instantly pays out affiliates. And then it will claw back commissions if you have refunds and chargebacks, but you can do that. It works well if you don't expect refunds, or you can set it to delay in 14 days, 30 days, whatever. So it can automate things, or it can do them manually, but it takes care of all that stuff all in one place, quick and simple and easy. And I didn't drop the link for it. And they are still doing pay once for life. It's less, I think it's $700 once to get it forever. I'm sure that's going to end. I expected it to end a while ago, but it hasn't ended yet, which I'm okay with because it makes it very easy to refer people to. Related to ThriveCart from the same people is something called ConvertBox. ConvertBox lets you, if you ever see those little things that slide out on the side of a website that like let you push some buttons, or you want to put something on your site that lets people sign up for an email list, ConvertBox does that. So I got ConvertBox because I was actually looking to get my ThriveCart affiliate link, and it said, hey, you want ConvertBox? And I'm like, oh, what's ConvertBox? Let me look at that. And then I said, yes, I need this before it stops being pay once for life. Because it's $500 or $600 forever. So I just like, let me quickly put something together. And so I put together what you see at summits.fun. And so if you say I want to attend, it'll ask for your email to go to the list for attendees. If you say I want to speak, it would put it on the list for speakers. And if you say I want both, it'll put it on the list for both. So it has this branching logic, which is super easy to do. I haven't done it yet, but it looks like quizzes are super easy to make in it. So if you're interested in playing with quizzes, ConvertBox is great for that. The thing about ThriveCart, I did upgrade so ThriveCart just started offering some advanced payment options, buy now, pay later, that kind of stuff. And I was able to upgrade it, and it didn't give me too much trouble, but I had to like upgrade my PayPal to upgrade the ThriveCart. So But I'm pretty sure if you don't change it, it keeps working in the old way. It just does not for the new payments, I believe. So I don't think it's actually changed anything. It's actually added options as opposed to like what Zoom likes to do, which is upgrade things. So next one, Descript. Descript is an AI transcription software, which they've added some additional features since then. But what Descript can do is you can put a video or an audio into it, and it will create a transcript. It can then use that transcript to create live captions, and it can do the captions where it will highlight the individual words as you're saying them. So the clever thing that Descript does is it's very accurate, which means it also transcribes all of your ums, ahs, and filler words. But for the upgraded version, you can automatically remove all your ums, ahs, and filler words. So it's $15 a month per user with the basic version, and the upgraded version is $60 per month per user. Sorry, 30. I have 2 users. $30 per month per user. And that allows you to take any kind of audio or video and instantly put captions on it, transcripts, does some basic video editing, although it's a little bit clunky as a video editor. And yes, it's very accurate doing that. I did a class and I just did the transfer, like, I'll just leave it the way it is. And I'm like, it has every single on, like, and filler word. I need to get rid of that for $15. My plan to do was take my morning motivation that I've done 800 something episodes of and make a book out of it, which I realized I could just drop these hundreds of hours or dozens of hours of motivational podcasts in there. And it'll even do the morning motivation that has music in the background of the voice. So it is really good for that. Speaking of podcasts, I host mine at Captivate. Captivate is, I believe it's $19 a month for more or less. You have a limited number of podcasts. I believe it caps your downloads something like 50,000 a month or 100,000 a month, and then it's $30 a month more once you go over that line. But generally, if you've gone over the line where you need to upgrade your Captivate account, then you're probably making money off your podcast because it's pretty substantial. I could be wrong on the 50K downloads, but I get 4, 5, 6,000 downloads on morning motivation every month, and I'm nowhere near the limit. So it's really easy to use. It has a bunch of features I haven't even used yet in terms of planning and guest management and scheduling and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But yeah, it's very, very easy to use. You have multiple logins. So my assistant has her own login, so I don't have to just give her my password. So I actually have it now that because I have an assistant, morning motivation, I haven't recorded an episode in about 3 or 4 weeks. And nobody knows because she just recycles the old episodes back. And it's awesome because now I have just an evergreen podcast that puts out a new episode every day. I have not monetized that podcast at all. Morning motivation, people love listening to it. And I think they listen, they're like, that was great, stop. So they don't listen to anything before or after. They don't take any action no matter what I do. They just listen to it. Although I am doing a morning motivation summit celebrating the 3rd year of the podcast. So my hope is that that might get some engagement out of the podcast. But yeah, but I'm not going to stop it because every once in a while people message me and say, hey, that episode was so meaningful for me. It's exactly what I needed to hear. It was so powerful. I'm like, all right, I guess for the whatever it cost me to have a VA recycle episodes, I will keep it in the universe and keep helping people. And to make the podcast, I use Audacity. Audacity is great. I don't have a link for it, but it's free. So if you search for like download Audacity, Audacity is the audio editor that like professionals use, and it is free. I think my guess is one of those things where a bunch of professionals said everything else out there is crap. Let's make our own. Kind of like the way Winamp got made. So it is open source software. It's pretty easy to use as audio software goes. and it's free. And if you need to do audio editing, that's the thing to do. I've not found a great video editor. So I'm still working with that. Yes, I'll say Audacity has been around since, is that before Winamp? No, Winamp was late 90s, right? Yeah, I did try Wondershare. They did some shady stuff with billing that made me not so much a fan of them. Like, they made it look like I was buying it forever. And then they said, here's your 1-year license. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And then 5 months later, they charged me again. So that was cool. I'm assuming iMovie is a iDevice thing. But yeah, so I don't know if doing enough video to need it. But actually, there is one I'm going to put in the chat. Calling an audible. I don't even have the link. I believe it's opus.pro. There's something called it's like Opus AI. Let me check that link to make sure I'm giving you the right one. It will take a longer video and chop it up into a whole bunch of shorter videos. Opus.pro. Yes, that is the website. If you go there, it asks you for a YouTube link. You put that YouTube video in there, and it will give you a demo, 200 minutes free. So you can record. So if you're someone who just likes to riff on video, you can turn the camera on, talk for 30 minutes, drop your 30-minute video into Opus and say, I need 60-second videos. And it'll give you 25, 30, 60-second videos with the captions on it, and like the animated captions, the colorful ones, and cool stuff like that. So I just learned about it. I've barely done anything with it other than poking at it, but it seems like one of those really cool. It's one of those applications that I was waiting for it to happen because I knew it had to happen, because AI can easily watch a video and get an idea of what you're saying and figure out how it goes together. So I'm like, there must be an AI application that takes a long video and makes it good short videos. Where is it? Here it is. Somebody brought it to me through the internet. So there it is. One of the things that exists because it should. And of course, Canva. I assume most of you are probably familiar with Canva, but you're looking at a slide. You're looking at a screenshot of Canva on Canva right now. So Canvaception. Ones you may not have heard of is Actionera. I mentioned that I have an app a little bit ago. So Actionera makes custom apps. So making your own app completely unique is generally a 6-figure proposition, maybe a 5-figure proposition if you're super efficient and have a buddy who does it. But Actionera is a template-based app. So it's a structure that you put in videos, content, journals, blogs, and one of the main applications of it is push notifications. So once you get people on there, then they can get push notifications from you. And so you make it your home. So the first thing an app does is you get to say, I have an app. And people say, whoa, you must be a serious business person. You've got an app. And then you have your app on their phone, and you can use push notifications. You can put content there, and there's all kinds of different things you can do with that. And Actionera is $200 a month, and that's basically it. Occasionally, like sometimes they'll do an update, and you have to give them $150 to do the update. But that's pretty much it. And it also includes Go High Level. So, but for having an app, $200 a month is a pretty good deal, given the cost about the same as Kartra, and Kartra does not come with an app. So, and then of course there's the Fun Virtual Events app, which is apparently only on Android currently. So I need to go check iTunes. They have great support and they make it easy, but there are things that you have to do yourself, and I just haven't gotten around to checking the iTunes store to realize it's not there. But they walk you through everything and do everything for you. Yes, and you'll see I have 1+ downloads. Yeah, I think that's from me and maybe 2 other people. So this is the first time I've told anyone it exists. So I haven't done a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm already set up. I need to renew something or restart something or do something, but I'll get to it. But it's something that can be really, really cool. And then of course, the other service I use is the Fun Virtual Events guy, who I highly recommend for running your virtual events. That's me. I run events. I have a done for you service. So if you have found it, if you like this kind of event and say, it'd be cool, an event like this, where I was the host and got to say all the cool, smart things, and also got the registration list, and also got to, get a keynote spot and make an offer, and also got the gratitude of all the speakers so I could then work them to become JV partners, and then not have to do any work to do it, because you don't have to do any work to do it. As Laura can attest, she was the alpha test of the first partner. And it worked out very well, because when we were like, let's work together in the event. And then she got super busy with stuff and I just worked in the event. And I say, it's really cool running it myself and just have a partner who comes up and co-hosts, because there was no meetings, there was no coordination. I just did everything. And I'm like, this is my model for running events. Clients hire me, I do everything for them. They show up, and then I hand them the mic and let them, let them look good and sound smart. So my thanks to Laura for being the alpha test client on doing that as the original partner. And no, don't cover your face. It was perfect. It's exactly what I want. So it actually worked out really, really well. So you, for the same no effort, can have an event run for you. So here's a link. Here's a link in the chat. And seriously, having Laura as a co-host, the thing I most need when I run an event is at runtime, is having a co-host, having someone to bring the energy bounce off of. So like I've run now 27, 24, a whole lot of events. I can't remember how many. So I've got a system. I got an assistant. I put stuff in a spreadsheet. It goes into EventRaptor. I've got it dialed in. You can totally run your own event. You could just use EventRaptor and do it yourself. And by your 6th or 7th event, you will definitely have it dialed in yourself too. But if you don't want to spend 7 events figuring it out, then I can do it for you. So, that's all the tech stack I could think of as I was putting this together. I'm sure I use other technology. I mean, obviously Google and all the other things that you probably know about, but some of those might be things that you're not familiar with. And then I want to share with you an extra bonus. I did say I do a little bit of networking. I know some of you are on my email list, so you'll have heard about this, but if you're not, then I'm going to share this, which is the corruptors of networking. So I talked a while ago about how some people suggested, like, maybe you shouldn't use the word networking in your marketing, because people, nobody wants to pay to learn to network. But then I realized the problem is the word networking has been corrupted. So I'm going to do what many industries do, is put the word real in front of it. So I teach real networking instead of corrupted networking. How did it get corrupted? I came up with 5 corruptors of networking, 5 villains, if you will. And then I asked DALL-E to create art of them. I'm actually going to ask my list. I'm going to put out a little art contest and be like, here's the corruptors. If you're artistically inclined, feel free to draw them. My daughter's going to be drawing a set of them too. But this is what DALL-E came up with when I put in the prompt of the corruptors. I'm assuming that Vidyar Thar Kortu is villain for always be closing, because I feel like always be closing is definitely the slogan of the corruptors of networking. But there's 5 of them. There's the sales manager. That is the desperate, struggling sales manager who can only see to the next month and the next quota. And everything is, are you going to close this by the end of the month? Are you going to close this by the end of the quarter? So when you go to a networking event, all they're thinking is how many prospects you bring home, how many business cards you get. Okay, you're going to call them, you're going to follow up with them, right? Because there might be some prospects in them. You better sell them, because the sales manager knows nothing other than hard selling. There's the marketer who knows that you can't sell networking, so they'll try to convince you networking doesn't work and you should do their thing instead. There's the automator who has technology that will make networking more efficient. The automator is based on a real person, but there's many people like him. And the real person that it was initially based on actually said, my technology lets you get more leads, prospects, sales, and revenue from networking. Because what his technology does is scrape the chat of a networking event and take that contact information and put it in your CRM, so you can follow up with them. So the automator is, you know, well, like the question from Jurassic Park, we were so focused on if we could that we didn't think about if we should. Then there is the fool. That's the person who has never been able to make networking work, and it's not their fault. It's the networking doesn't work, and you shouldn't try it either. And of course, the taker. That's the opposite of the fool. That's the person who has been able to make networking work by aggressively selling everyone they meet at every networking event. And you should do the same because they made a lot of money in those events. That's the person who, you know, because they are just tenacious and aggressive and have no shame, they'll pitch everyone they meet, and some of them say yes. So you do that enough, you make some money. And these are the corruptors of networking and the fathers and mothers of corrupted networking, as opposed to real networking, which is what I teach. And if you'd like to learn more about real networking, I'm doing a webinar on August 2nd, which I should definitely put that link in a place where I can cut and paste it. Give me a second, because I can't cut and paste off the slideshow. Those of you who've known me for a while will agree with the sentiments everyone else has said when I say I finally created a signature program, and they all say it's about frickin' time. And in it, I'm putting together all I know about networking, including using email and social media and events as follow-up into one program. And in this webinar, my plan is to take that curriculum and basically do a survey overview of everything in it. And then the program itself involves accountability and support and coaching and implementation. But because, as we know, knowledge is free and implementation is what we charge for, because knowledge is everywhere. So I'm going to give you all the knowledge. This will not be following the rubric that Mike gave. This will just be me teaching, going straight to the teaching, and then afterwards saying, there's a program if you want to join me. I'm going to see if it works. If it works, I'll just keep doing that ridiculously authentic thing. And if it doesn't work, then I'll start marketing correctly. We'll see. And that's all my slides, so I must be done. So thank you. That is the presentation that you requested. So I hope you enjoyed it. Good. I see I get little animated clappies from Marcel. So awesome. So that brings us to the end of the agenda. So if I
remind people that it doesn't end here, to please reach out to each other if that means collaborations, if that means being partners on something, even if you just think the person is cool. Follow their stuff, engage, like get to know them. We really want that community. And as Michael had mentioned earlier, there's a Discord channel. I want to see your nerdy memes. The memes are making me happy right now. I've got lots of crap going and could really use the smiles. So I think other people will too.
I'll drop the invite link for that in the chat as
Thank you.
well. So
oh yeah, so if you didn't put your contact information, put it in the chat. Make sure you save the chat. And I can't wait to see messages from some of you.
Yeah. And of course you'll all be hearing from me, because until you unsubscribe, you're on my email list. Thanks for joining. And yeah, so all the speakers automatically go on the speaker list. So I announce future events. And then all the attendees end up on the other list, which hopefully you like. Most people tend to. I've actually been surprised that, as I mentioned, I have a daily email list. You don't have to read every day. I don't expect anyone to. About 98% of my list reads at least once every 30 days, and 35% open any given email. But I kind of assume people come to a summit and then I put them on the list and I'd get, 70% attrition, because they're like, yeah, summit's great, get me out of here. But the attrition rate's only about 15-20%, which means that there is a large contingent of people who sign up for the event, don't attend, and still stay on my list. So maybe me right good, who knows? So if anyone has any thoughts they would like to share.
I do want to give a huge thank you to each and every person that showed up, each and every person that put notes in the chat, each and every person that introduced themselves, participated anyway. And a thank you to those who didn't do any of those, because you are still here. And sometimes we are in that space, and that's okay too. So again, just thank you. Thank you for being here.